Rahma, and I'm going to deliver my procedure-based speech, and it is going to be about sewing. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make palazzo pants by understanding the sewing pattern. Would you like to learn how to make your own clothes? If that is, I'm going to show you how to use a pattern to make these palazzo pants. This is a sewing pattern. It looks confusing at first and intimidating and just kind of weird. How do these random shapes turn into something that you can actually wear? If you would like to know the basics of how to read and understand a sewing pattern, then watch this video. Alright, sewing pattern come in a range of different sizes, obviously, since we all come in different shapes and sizes, and the different sizes are usually presented by different styles of line, so that you can easily distinguish between them. So you can go right ahead, find your size and cut it straight from the pattern. However, if you do this, you are not taking full advantage of your sewing pattern. Once you cut directly into the pattern, there is no going back, and you no longer have access to any of the other sizes that the pattern has to offer. Also, pattern can be kind of pricey, so you have to think about value for money. You might want to make this for someone else who has a different size, or maybe for yourself. The most efficient way is to trace the pattern, and that means you are not wasting anything for tracing. To get it done, you will need some papers, a ruler, scissors, marker, highlighter, tracing wheel, and a nail. Those last two things, which also look like they could be a total devices, are optional. And if you don't have them, you can improvise by using regular pens. Okay, so we start by finding our size and highlighting the corresponding lines. Roll out your paper and lay your pattern flat on top. Grab your poking device and pierce through the pattern at any significant points, such as the corners, the notches, the dots, etc., to mark lines on your pattern that are not straight but instead they are curved. Grab your tracing wheel and follow the curve with it. If you're using a pen instead, simply pierce lots of holes along the curve for the same effect. Once you have finished with your piercing, it's time to remove the pattern and basically join the dots. So, grab your ruler and your marker and go ahead adding in the straight lines, the curved lines, and any markings that the pieces has, notches, dots, green line, and any other marks. Your piece should now be complete and ready to cut out. Once you've done this with all of the pattern pieces, you are ready to move on to the next stage. As this explanatory is for beginners, let's talk about the symbols and what they actually mean. Symbols are part of what make a sewing pattern so confusing. I think because it's all these weird shapes just appeared around every pattern piece, and you have to know what they all mean in a particular sewing sense. But once you know them, you can just understand them, and they are actually pretty easy to follow. The symbols are essentially there to make the sewing process easier. So here is a run-through of the most common and basic symbols. Number 1, most common symbol is notches. Notches are usually marked by small lines or small triangles at the edge of a pattern piece. These are essentially guides for you to be able to match your pattern pieces at the right spots. They're actually really important if you want your work to be accurate and neat. All the symbol is asking you to do is snip a little bit of the fabric where the notch is, and you have a visual guide for where you need to match your pattern pieces. And then the next common symbol is dots. Dots are represented by larger triangles. Dots are crucial for adding body and shapes into a garment. Typically, they are found at the bust, at the waist, because those are typically the places that your body has curves. All you need to do is to mark this accurately onto your fabric, either with some chalk or with a pencil, and then you can see clearly where they are before you sew them in. Next, we have the green line, and this is just a huge big arrow across the center of your pattern piece. The green line represents the direction in which the width of your fabric should be going. So, when you lay your pattern piece on top of the fabric, the width of your fabric should be matching the direction of the green line. The purpose of a green line is to help with the draping of a garment. They're actually really important, and also if your fabric has a pattern, a green line makes sure that the pattern is going in the same direction in all the pieces. The next really common symbol is cut on the fold. This symbol simply directs you to fold your fabric or align your pattern piece along the folded edge. Then cut around it. That means you'll end up with a piece which is double the size and also perfectly symmetrical. You often see this cut on the fold symbols in front of the waistband or the collars. The more advanced and complex of a sewing pattern is, the more symbols you might encounter. But for now, these are the most common or the most basic to get you started. So once you've traced your pattern and you understand all the symbols, it's time to cut out your fabric pieces. There are a couple of different ways you can use to cut out the fabric. You can pin your pattern onto the fabric and then just cut around it with a pair of fabric scissors, or you can lay your pattern flat on the top of your fabric, use some random miscellaneous object to weigh it down, and then slice it using a rotary cutter, which is essentially just a pizza cutter, but it is for fabric. Usually when you're cutting, it means that you're cutting two or something that like two legs, two arms, two pockets, or etc. So to make the process a little bit quicker and easier, I recommend you to fold your fabric over so you're cutting through two layers at the same time, and this makes sure that they are even and also completely symmetrical, which is what you want. And of course, when you are cutting, don't forget to follow the instruction on the pattern. Make sure your fabric is in the right position. Things like cutting on the fold, if something needs to be double the size, things like snipping in your notches, those things are really easy for you to forget. Don't forget, and before you know it, you should have your army of fabric pieces ready to be assembled. So, you've traced your pattern, you've cut out all your fabric. All that's left to do is that you still have to sew it. Usually sewing patterns come with instructions. The more beginner-friendly a pattern is, the more comprehensive the instructions tend to be. So these are the instructions for the Palazzo pants, and it's been laid out in a really clear step-by-step format, which is how you'll find most pattern instructions are laid out. I'm not going to go into much detail about the Palazzo pants, but basically you can follow the instructions step by step. Now take your time, use a pattern to make these Palazzo pants, and just keep sewing until you reach something that resembles your desired garment. And here is how the Palazzo pants turned out in the end. Alright, I really hope that you learned something in this video, or perhaps we are even inspired to create something done by sewing. Thank you so much for watching. I'd like to say goodbye and see you. Thank you, and bye bye.